Hi, my name is Patricia Engelman, and I'm here to explain my values and bias of going to see a counselor or why I decided to become a counselor. I am entering this field because I have had a lot of people in my life inform me that I'm one of the people that they turn to and that I'm a very good listener and I'm willing to try and help out as best as I can of their issues and try and guide them in the right direction. Why are people so scared to go to therapies? Well, there's multiple reasons. One, they might have gone to a therapist and they've had a bad experience and they're afraid that they're going to have the same issues. Or they may not know how to get to the right person. Or the fact that they might have somebody in their life who is absolutely against therapy, but they want to be there. They want to go. But because of this person, they're like, nope, I can't go because let's say it's their mother. Mom wants me to absolutely not talk to anybody. She says, I'm here for you. Why do you need to go talk to a stranger about your issues? And there's also people who can't open up about what has brought them to the therapy office. When people come to me, I don't want to tell them their choices are wrong or right. I want to help guide them in the right direction and be there for them. And if I'm so unsure of what they are doing or they're talking about, I can always say, "Listen, let's talk about it next session." And clients might also not want to know about their history and the way they grew up at first and who they are now. But clients do go in and they do talk about it. And when a person doesn't know what's going on with the client's life, they can talk to their supervisors. They can talk to look up information. They can talk to other therapists in their group. They may not be able to express the fully all details, but maybe like, hey, listen, this person wants to know how to jump rope. That's your therapist, your client. You don't know how to jump rope. Maybe you might say, hey, you know about jump roping. Can you explain it to me a little bit more? And that's what having a group of different therapy or therapists might be able to be a smart thing to be working for. When I was hanging out with my husband at a local place, I was sitting there and I was doing a puzzle. And a friend of mine, he sat down and was doing the puzzles with me, and I was talking to him, and I was like, "So talk to me about your life. Let me get to know you." And he was telling me how he felt like he was a disappointment to his daughter and his mom, and the history with his daughter and his mom, and the history with what happened with his daughter and how he had to give up custody and other stuff. But he wanted to improve in his life. And I sat down and I thought about it and I talked to him and I said, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And we went back and forth. Ended up, I told him, hey, why don't you just come ride the ambulance with me? Because at the time I was a cleared EMT and I was riding on one of my ambulance corps. He jumped on with me and now he works for FD in New York City as an EMT. Every time I see his mom, she cries about how me and my husband helped turn his life around. And I was like, I just sat there playing puzzles and talked to him about driving, getting on the ambulance. I didn't force him to do anything. I just gave him suggestions. I even suggested him go back to school if he really wants to and try to improve his life. And that's actually what I'm doing here. I'm going back to school to improve my life. Another story is that I have friends and family that come to me so often that I've gotten the nickname as Mama Trish because they come to me and I try to help them as best as I can. And I know that there are not times that I cannot help out. And there are times where I can, but the times I can't, I at least have my aunts, my uncles, my parents, other adults in my life that are older than me who experience other things that maybe they can help me figure out something. And if I can't figure that out or I can't talk to them about, and I know when I'm a counselor, I can't talk about other people's business, but I have sources of looking up things to inform myself and not judge the patient because they might see point A and point B where I might see C and D, but I have to see A and B because they are the patient, not me. My values can be positive or negative about another person's lifestyle. And if I agree with them, that's my opinion. If I disagree with them, that's my opinion too. But they're not here for me to agree or disagree with their lifestyles. It's my choice to be there and support them as best as I can as their counselor and to guide them in the right direction. A client can cope with their self established, their self expressions, and they can find out by hearing how they are with their relationship with their families and friends. Clients who do talk positive and negative, there will always be positive and negative stories you hear from your clients. But at the end of the day, your client is here for you to support them in the right direction. And even if you don't agree with them, you need to give them the most positive outlook that you can for them. I know that there are negative things in my life that I've looked at it and I'm like, I tried to find the positive because at the end of the day, it's the events that have happened in my life that I need to improve. Here are my references. Thank you.